We are here for the December 7th Historic Preservation Commission. Due to agenda item number 4, I'll go ahead and just get us started. We do have a quorum. Moving on to approval of minutes from November 2nd, 2015. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve and seconded. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. If you guys don't mind, just due to time sensitivity, is the commission good with skipping to item 5, 6, and 7, then we'll come back and discuss item 4?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Item number 5, discussion and possible action regarding application CA 2015-2011-3335 concerning a request for exterior building signage at 224 West Harrison Avenue. We do have the applicant on the end of the table. You see the staff report and the image for the proposed sign in your packet. Any questions, concerns, comments for the applicant?
I don't have any questions necessarily regarding the sign, just really more about the establishment itself. Is that, I see here you have Grill House. There's no reference to bar or saloon. Is there going to be a bar?
Currently, there's not.
Right, is the plans to have one at all?
We haven't decided or not yet on that aspect of it. So we're serving food, that's what our plan is right now.
So no even thoughts of,
Haven't decided yet on that. It's a large expense. So
Sure.
We've put a lot of money into the renovation of the building itself, so we are looking at what our options are with it. So it takes a long time to recover $8,000-9,000 in alcohol. So we can serve a lot of food for $10,000 in a liquor commission.
So where will the 3 signs be? I see one.
2 of the current signs that are there right now, and then one would be on, we're opening up the adjacent building to the side here, so it'll be one here on this side.
Okay.
So that it's, instead of just having that saloon side that was current saloon side, we've renovated the other side also.
Okay.
So nobody knows it's there type thing without a sign.
Right.
So it'd be nice if we could put a sign up front so people know that they can access to that
It's
side
an
of the building.
extension of
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is there.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And the other one you're taking over is going to be on the Harrison side, or is it the
Second.
Second Street side? Okay.
Second Street, yeah. So
The one that was
directly-
it's already attached to your building?
Yes, it is, yeah.
that-
Yeah, there's a walk in between the 2
Yeah.
now, so.
As far as the Haynes sign that's going on up there, is it going to change, or are you?
No, I had no intention to take it down. right
So it's
now,
just going to
so.
stay as
As
that's
is right
called,
now,
or
yeah.
not going to repaint it or do anything?
I'd have to get permission to repaint it, my understanding.
Well, yeah, or to
change
update it or
colors.
change it,
Yeah.
or just
So
another.
right now, we're not.
Other than just refreshing.
Not currently.
I like it. I think it's a nice looking sign.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve signage at 224 West Harrison Avenue. Motion and a second. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion carried.
Thank
I'm glad to see it open again.
you. Me too.
just on a night, I mean, the community knows it as a bar, historically it's been a bar.
No,
I think you're
I-
missing the boat if you don't go with the bar.
I don't disagree with you on that. Since we've been open though, I've probably had 6 people come in and look for a drink. So, but I agree with you on that aspect of it. It's just, we've put a lot of money and time into it as a dining establishment, and it's a big hickey to take for a liquor license right now, and we'll look at that down the road. So I agree with you, but right now it's not gonna happen. So,
Will your signage?
On a personal note, what's your hours?
yeah, so we're open for lunch and dinner now. We tried to open for breakfast, but historically, I guess you guys never seen the Blue Bell as a place to have breakfast. So we were open for breakfast for 3-4 weeks and nobody ever showed up.
Because we know it as a bar.
As a bar, yeah. So I know he wants more drinks. I'm being vague with you, I am. So. But no, so we're open for lunch and dinner. So we open 11 and we're open till 9, and then on 10 o'clock Fridays and Saturdays. So. But yeah, and then the whole concept behind it, since we're here, I guess, is the one side that we don't have open right now. That's actually more a family dining, and that's where you can bring your kids in and stuff like that. It's even the way we design it. It gives you more of a kind of a barn dance type look atmosphere to it inside of a barn, the way we did it. And then the other side, we cleaned it back up again and refurbished it and yeah, it'd be nice to have it open as a saloon again too. But that is more higher end formal dining. That's your steaks and ribs, and it's where you and your wife come and don't have to bring the kids type thing. So behind that, but yeah. So we wanted to get to a point where instead of trying to accommodate 35, 40, we can now accommodate 110. So
Great.
All right, very
Great,
good.
well, thank you.
Your signage is approved. Thank you very
thank you.
much.
So,
Thank you. Yes.
Moving on to item number 6, I'm going to introduce Linda Ozan for items number 6 and 7. If you guys remember, Linda presented last month and talked about the nominations for the National Register of Historic Places. I'll turn it over.
Okay. Start the presentation.
Aaron downstairs is running our PowerPoint for us tonight, so.
So the next slide. Okay, the first building that we're going to look at tonight is the Cooperative Publishing Company building. It's located at 301 West Harrison Avenue. It was nominated at the local level, and we're amending the nomination to include both Criterion A for Commerce and Politics and Criterion C for Architecture, with a period of significance of 1902. Next slide. The Cooperative Publishing Building was originally listed in the National Register of Historic Places on May 18, 1972, at the local level under Criteria A for Commerce and Politics. The purpose of this additional documentation is to amend the nomination for the following reasons. 1, to provide a complete and orderly architectural description, and in that adding the additional information for Criteria C to address the local architectural significance of the property. The Cooperative Publishing Company building was designed by Guthrie architect Joseph Foucault. Constructed in 1902, the Cooperative Publishing Company building is classified as a commercial-style building with exotic influences. He was educated in Europe, where the stylized buildings influenced his future design. His buildings typically have load-bearing walls, arched openings, columnar details found in the piers, engaged columns, or pilasters. His designs were typically Gothic in influence. Next slide. Or did he go through them? Oh, sorry, go back. He went through them all very quickly. The Cooperative Publishing Company building is one of his more remarkable designs, where he departed from his traditional style. The facades are very symmetrical with smooth wall surfaces with simple windows. Standard commercial style influences can be seen in the use of the large banks of windows, multiple entry areas in both facade and the masonry construction. What is most unusual about this building is his use of the three-dimensional tower and the onion dome at the center of the building, or corner of the building, and the use of the engaged turrets on both facades. In this building, he exhibited his exotic architectural background in his commercial style buildings. His other buildings in Guthrie were stylistically important, but are examples of Richardsonian, Romanesque, and Gothic styles. Locally, this is the only extant example of the commercial style with exotic revival influences designed by him that draws attention to a corner entry with an onion dome and the columnar accents. The Cooperative Publishing Company building was originally listed on the National Register in 1972 under Criteria A for Commerce and Politics. With the update to the nomination, we are providing a more thorough architectural description and adding Criteria C for its architectural significance. So with that, does anyone have any questions, concerns, comments regarding the nomination itself?
The only question that I had was, in the nomination, it's constantly referred to as the cooperative, but in 1902, at the time of its significance, it was the state capital company. And do we need to change the name?
We went with the name of that's what it was called in its original National Register nomination.
Okay,
I wasn't going to change that aspect of
Okay.
it, so I was going to stick with how it was listed originally.
okay.
We can add it in other name to
Mhm.
make sure that it's acknowledged, and I'm
Okay.
happy to do that.
Okay, because that was really the only comment, because in
Okay.
1902 it wasn't the cooperative. And while the cooperative company was in existence and the longest running in that building, in 1902 it was very rare.
And that's usually how we pick the name, is by the thing that has been in it the longest or the most recognized. But in the other name field, we can go ahead and acknowledge the other name as well.
That was really the only question that I had.
And I think that's a great idea. That really needs to be there because that's the way people around here understand it and even it's just historically known.
Right. Okay, we can absolutely do that.
All right. Anything else regarding this nomination? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion to
Accept.
accept. Okay.
I'll second.
You have a motion to accept the nomination or approve the nomination. Motion and second, all in favor, please just hold me saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none? Okay, motion carried. Moving on to item number 7, Commissioner Locke, since you were the applicant for this specifically, you will have to abstain from this discussion item.
Oh, okay, well, I'll have to talk about it during the.
No, I'm not asking you to do that.
The only thing that I will say is that we reserve the right to ask questions about
No,
it,
that's
since you're
perfectly
the one
fine,
that-
I don't know what it says, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I will never ask you guys to talk about a PowerPoint that I haven't given you at least 48 hours heads up. Just a good standard to go by for all of us probably. So, item number 7.
All right, with that, we can start the presentation again. Okay, oh.
There we go.
No, he's
No,
got
no.
forward through
That's
to
fine.
Excelsior.
To the Excelsior.
There we go.
All right.
Okay. So we're looking at the Excelsior Library located at 323 South 2nd Street. It's being nominated at the local level under Criteria A for Ethnic Heritage, Black, Education, and Social History, with a period of significance of 1955 to 1967. The Excelsior Library is located in the Guthrie Historic District. At the time of the Guthrie Historic District nomination, the property was identified as a non-contributing resource due to its date of construction, which falls outside of the period of significance for the district. The library is significant in its own right, and this nomination will provide the property the recognition it justly deserves. The Excelsior Library was built as part of a 1954 City of Guthrie bond issue. It opened in 1955. The library consisted of 2 library rooms housing 5,000 books and a large community room with a stage for meetings. It operated as a racially segregated library until 1967, when the Excelsior Library and Guthrie Carnegie Library were combined as part of desegregation. The building continued to be used as a branch library until the new Guthrie Public Library building was built in 1970. The Excelsior Library is significant because it represents a time and place where African Americans did not have equal opportunities. It provided library facilities and a community gathering space for the African American community. The current Excelsior Library was built as part of a bond issue passed by the Guthrie on December 7th, mildly ironic,
Yes.
1954. The Excelsior Library project was added just 3 weeks before the bond vote at the request of the Negro Chamber of Commerce. The request was made to the City Council to replace the old Excelsior because of the poor condition of the building. The new library was also advocated for because it was to provide a meeting space for African American clubs and groups. The Excelsior Library is eligible under Criteria A because it was built as an African American library and a community center. It was added to that bond issue at the urging of the Chamber of Commerce. It was built after the citizens of Guthrie voted to approve the bond issue to build the new African American library. It was built before a modern library for whites in Guthrie, and it was built during the beginning of the Civil Rights Movement, which some hoped would end segregation in public facilities. Even after separate but equal was outlawed, a new integrated library was built, and the Excelsior Library remained vital to the African American community as a community center and a symbol of their heritage. So with that, we have the preparer of the nomination with us, who is happy to help address any questions or concerns you may have regarding the nomination.
I think it's a great idea. Thank you.
Tell you, it was very, very well written and very well researched.
Great job.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Wish all of my first-time National Register nomination preparers could do such a good job.
You can give a class.
A little ironic that today's
Today's is
In looking around, just doing some of my own little bit of a digging, there aren't any African American libraries that are preserved historically that I could find. Did
No.
you find any?
Yeah, I had the same problem that there isn't a whole lot out there. I did find at one point in time, there was one that was listed on the National Register, I don't remember what state, but it was torn down, and there's another one that was an African American library at one point in time, that's now a museum. But part of the issue is this was actually built as an African American library, most of them were not.
Mhm.
And in Oklahoma, in the 40s, there was 15 African American libraries. As far as I can tell, none of the others were actually built as an African American library, nor are they still standing. So this really is very significant.
With the support of the community.
Yes, with the support of the community.
Especially. Guthrie, when it's in its early ages, Guthrie was one of the largest African-American centers for a very, very long time. And I think this is perfect for Guthrie, for the community, and for us.
Absolutely.
So the building itself, though, is still in disrepair, still no funding to fix it, still no nothing. What does this hopefully attain? Just puts it on the registry?
It gets it on, I mean, it's already on the National Register because it's within the district, but it's a non-contributing building. Now it gets it some recognition that hopefully will bring it to the forefront of, this is a very rare resource in Oklahoma and people need to be paying attention to it or it's going to fall down, and it's not a piece of our history that we want to lose. So the best thing that we hope for with National Register nominations is positive press to get people's attention.
And the Friends of the Excelsior Library that formed is moving forward with quite a bit of activity, from what I understand.
Hopefully their 501c3 will be granted shortly. I think that it's coming down to the end that they should be hearing very shortly that they will be accepted as a 501c3, and they will be the ones who will be taking over and fixing up. And
Was the last time that the city council was given a briefing or an update on that, right, in kind of
I thought it was
August?
yes,
Was it August
July?
timeframe?
I thought it was June, July.
it was end of summer,
Okay.
middle end of summer, and it's coming very close. I've talked to Ms. Nephews, and sounds like they've had correspondence and things are moving along. So
I
it's
think
just
Bryce
now-
Purvis was the one filling all that out.
I wasn't sure if I had missed an update or not.
Are there any grant monies available because it's a registered?
Well, one of the things that I would hope would happen is that they would take the opportunity to apply for a Plan First grant with Preservation Oklahoma, which can help them figure out what needs to be done to the building in the right way. And that can be a pretty hefty expense, and this grant really does help offset those costs. So that would be a really good first
And
step.
I've already told them about that grant, so they're aware of that one, so that's good.
So just to clarify, it's a grant for kind of an evaluation of the building, but not necessarily the improvements themselves?
Correct. Unfortunately, our office hasn't had grant funding available for restoration since the 1980s, and given our current economic climate, I don't anticipate them in my lifetime. So.
Aaron, do you see anything coming down the pipeline?
Just see an agency
James did it.
My boss? I'm not, no, I'm in it.
So, but unfortunately, in terms of just grant funding, money from me, no.
But there might be some external funding somewhere,
Absolutely.
especially for the uniqueness of this building.
Yes.
James, to answer your question, I've had a conversation with Evelyn and her entire community in my office, and we have some ideas for what to do with that as possibly a community center going forward. So it's just a matter of fixing up the building at that point in time. I've had conversation with them about what will be best utilize that as essentially a 411 center right now. If someone calls 411, they can have social services to help them out and direct them. But because of the number of nonprofits we have in Guthrie, there's a very good chance that we can bring them underneath one roof and have them share administration costs, utility costs, just office supply costs, and see if we can make that into more of a functioning facility for all of our nonprofits. So that's kind of the direction we're heading.
That's been a dream for some of us for a long time. It's good to hear maybe some movement toward.
Well, it's February 9th. Not saying anything, but February 9th is a big day.
Well, I make a motion to approve it because I think it's a wonderful idea.
I'll second.
I think it's a long time needed.
Yeah.
I have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, please respond by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Hearing none.
I'm gonna stay.
Yep. Commissioner Locke abstained is in the notes. All right, fantastic. We have two successful motions.
I
to approve.
encourage you to write more. I encourage you to write more, definitely. I'm thinking about it. That wasn't too painful, I hope.
With that, we'll go ahead and leave.
Thank you.
And then if you have questions about later, just
I'll get you something whenever we decide on.
Thank you very much.
Just a moment.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go ahead and let them get situated and we get some fun stuff. Skipping back up to item number 4, we had a resignation from Commissioner Bothroyd kind of mid-November. So she has vacated her spot. We're now looking for a member, and we are also looking to establish a chairman for this board as well. So just kind of want to open it up for discussion. Any volunteers for chairman? What?
He came in last.
I was,
No, I've already turned it down.
I nominate Aaron.
Okay.
I would second that.
I'll second it.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, Erin.
Yes.
Give it a second. All in favor, please just want to say aye. All opposed? Hearing none. Congratulations.
Yay.
How many members are we needing?
We need one.
Just one?
We need one now.
So we're
Sorry,
just a
no,
six
no,
member?
no, no, no,
I
I'm
was
so
gonna
sorry.
say.
I'm so
So
sorry. We are looking for two.
Thought we were supposed to be seven.
We are. We are looking for two. I misspoke. I earlier counted, but I'm sure ex officio would is, of course, an ex officio. So
we need seven.
We are
I
looking
don't
for
count.
two. We are looking for two.
Do we need any, I forgot.
So what are the requirements that we need? Are
Right.
we needing a building owner? Or
Right.
are
We're
we
looking
needing?
for one property owner and one with special knowledge.
What did? Well, that doesn't matter.
What was that? Sorry.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing.
Weird. You want to lead item number 8?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Any comments from staff?
None.
Okay. Any other comments from us?
None.
Welcome aboard.
No, okay. thanks.
It must be the end of the year.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I would second it.
You're good.
All right.
You're good.
Awesome. Great.